So there was a recognition. Or this thing you said, knowing. Because I'm feeling more as an experience because of the deepening and the peace and stuff.
Yes.
But it's a knowing.
Yes.
And the knowing you can have any time.
Yes.
You don't need to have the peace.
Yes, exactly. Hallelujah. So the peace is a side effect of the knowing. The peace is actually inherent in the knowing, yet the experience of peace is a side effect.
Could you say that again? There's a bit we're trying to edit this out, I think.
Okay, let's say it like this, right? Supposing that the undercurrent of all existence is these words are not it, but I'm using words. So an undercurrent of existence made of peace and love and pure joy and happiness and freedom and like all these like this essential oil, right? There's this essential oil, right? In the ocean, right?
I didn't know it existed till I met you, Ananta. You pushed me through into that. That's amazing.
You didn't know what exists, essential oil?
No, that level. That level, I didn't know it existed.
Really?
No.
Well, that's really moving fast then, because it's only the last couple of months we've met in Glasgow and in France, right? Yeah. So the nature of the core of being, essentially being inherent peace, yeah, and then through a gap. I'm only speaking, so this is like a gap in self-identity and the thinking mind running the whole show. A gap opens up, and this gives rise to a wave that comes up out of this essential. A wave that comes up into experience and is experienced as joy, peace, love, freedom, and falls back. Into what is essential, what is always essential about you, regardless of experience. Regardless of your changing experience, there's something about you which is essential that you could not exist without your essential nature. So that being made of all that, and through some moments of a gap in the egoic structures, a wave rising up into experience, and there's this uncaused joy, peace, what you've been experiencing in the meetings and all that, and then falling back. So that wave that rises is a side effect. Like this is always here, always here, always here. It doesn't need to be an experience. It's exactly what you're saying. It doesn't need to be an experience to know what that is.
But it's quite easy to want to hang on to that.
Yeah, that is the very first, following a recognition, that is the very first thing that the mind will want and the identity will want, is that experience. So it's the first thing that comes in emptiness. The first thought that rises is, how do I keep this? And the moment that you see that as a thought, there's nothing lost. Once you see how free this is, that this is no matter what the experience is, then it's free to be in experience or not. That's how free it is. It doesn't need to be experienced. It's that much free that without the experience, it's still known.
I started to get that. Yeah.
That's what you're getting. And when you go directly to your knowing, you're already in essence. The more you give your life to what you are knowing, deeper than experience, like for example, that activation happens if you're feeling like, oh, I fucked up again, I did that wrong, and that whole activation. Yet even in the midst of all that, and it's coming for you to invite you to know, what do you know deeper than this? You know? Do you still believe in me? Yeah? I'm your pattern. Do you still believe in me? Yeah? What do you know deeper than this pattern, in the midst of this pattern? That's where it, yeah? There can be any pattern playing here, any activation playing here, but what do I know deeper than that? What do I give the truth to? And that's an integrating, you know, the recognition is instant. It's an instant moment of boom, recognizing, and then following that recognition, all the patterns and all the unmet pains, they're rising up to be seen with new eyes, to be seen with the knowing.
That they're not true. They're not this.
Seen for what they are, that they are a patterning, which can you find within this patterning, can you find a you? You know, you find a self that's been formed out of conditioning and out of belief systems, a self-identity. But can you find it? Does it exist? Where is it? Where is it? Can you find anything which is not this? You see an identification of a persona. Yeah, there's a persona here. Yeah, that's like an aspect of all the levels of what I'm being. That's one aspect. There's a persona. It's one aspect. What is knowing that aspect? And if I stay with what I'm knowing, the persona is not a problem or an identity, which is believing itself separate to you. It's what I'm showing up as Ananta in this form, with this life story and all these habits and all this thing. Yet the knowing within that is that I am not separate to you. It's first thing to recognize it here, but then to actually see that the other is yourself. Yeah? Because the other certainly does a good impression of being separate, doesn't it? Yeah? It could almost be believed. And thank God, because then you can have the experience of oneness. Only because you have the experience of two-ness. If you didn't have the experience of two-ness, you couldn't have the experience of oneness. And that's all part of the play that's here to be. It's not that I walk around not experiencing two-ness. I do, and that's beautiful. It's just the identification. The deeper you fall in yourself, the deeper that you come to rest in the depths of your being, you will know that the knowing that I am is the knowing that you are. There are all these differences in all the layers, these lovely differences, these lovely, beautiful differences to play with. And as we drop deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, mm. Mm. And right here, where we come into deeper levels, the knowing is knowing itself in the most subtle way. Mm. Once you've seen the moon, do you need to see it 24 hours a day? You know the moon. Nobody can convince you that the moon does not exist because you've seen it. Mm. Mm. Don't try to keep this experience. Yeah? See it everywhere. See it in the ocean. See it in the birds flying. See it in the leaf dropping from the tree. See it, nature is reflecting exactly this. When you look at a tree, see what is running through it. See what is knowing itself in the tree, in the bird, in the ocean. See what is knowing itself everywhere. Mm. 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 I thank you for the sweet humility that you bring. Mm. Mm. Mm.